Hi, welcome to Donegal Dad. I'm Mark, and big hello to my new subscribers. We're back here today at the 6x4 layout where we're going to continue the build on that. Right, today we're going to look at making the platforms, and then we're going to move on to creating the tunnel and mountain scene. So these platforms, they're cut out from 18mm or 3/4 inch ply, which is the ideal height for 00 gauge. I'm going to show you now how I cut these out. To cut out your first piece of wood for your platform, this is a 3rd radius track here. So get some 3rd radius track, pin it to your piece of wood, put a little wagon on it, pencil, and just go alongside and then that gives you your line for your initial cut. Once you've cut out your piece of wood, repeat the process with this section, this time using the 2nd radius curve. Of course, this time you're going on the inside. You have your line there, you can just cut around, and that is your initial cuts for the platform. Because I'm putting the station and platform on the curved part of this model railway, the curves on a model railway are not prototypical of what you find on a real railway. As a result, on your platform you're going to have to do some further trimming around it to make sure that your stock can actually fit. So you can see here, to get the carriages to fit in to go around the curve, you have had to cut quite a bit away so it doesn't look terribly real, unlike here on the straight bit where we have a carriage pulled in there. So once I was happy with this, the position and making sure the rolling stock could get round it, I then just drew some lines up along this track here and cut out these slots here for these rails to go in. So now these are all cut out and ready. All that remains to be done now is give them a paint of some cheap matte emulsion here, grey, as a base colour, and then I'll screw and glue them down into position on the board. Right, while the platform pieces are drying, we're going to look now at making the tunnel. So to do this, I've got some 3mm ply, which I'm going to use to cover the track. I've put down some 2nd radius track around here so I can see where the curve is going underneath the piece of wood. And then I just need to draw in where I want to cut. You can see here I've drawn a rough line around. It's an irregular line because this is going to be a mountain side, so we don't want straight edges. I've also left enough space there so I can put a support end underneath with enough clearance for the rolling stock to get around. Right, I'm just going to take this piece of wood now and go and cut it out. Right, here we have the piece of wood cut out now to cover the track. So all remains now is to screw in the supports. Now these are 90mm high. I chose that height because it's the same height as my controller, which will fit in underneath. And you can see alongside the truck it gives plenty of clearance for any rolling stock that's going through the tunnel. Pre-drilled the piece of wood, put in 25mm screws. Pre-drill it helps to stop the wood splitting when you screw it in. Right, there's the supports on for the cover of the tunnel. So before you do anything else and you're happy with the position, just run a couple of carriages through, just to make sure there's nothing going to foul any of the rolling stock. Next, mark around the bases. With the bases of the supports all marked on the baseboard, you can now drill a hole through the baseboard to enable you to put a screw up through to secure the supports. As always, before you drill through a baseboard, make sure it's clear underneath, you're not going to hit anything, and also make sure there's no cross members underneath you're going to drill into. Right, that's it secured down now. So we're going to make some backboards now so we can create a hill scene coming down over this. Right, here we have the backdrop supports up for the building of the hill. You can see I've secured it in the corner with a block of wood to strengthen the corners. And it's screwed along the supports all the way around. And you still have this gap here which enables you to get into the track to sort out any track issues or derailments. Right, as you can see, the platform pieces are now in place. They've been painted a base coat for further detailing. I want to screw these down because you can see they're a little bit warped, so that will secure them in place. And I want to countersink the screws. So you can use one of them if you have it for countersinking. Failing that, just use a larger drill bit just to drill down a few millimeters. There we can see it's all screwed down and secure. I used 25mm screws. They're countersunk in, so I can put a bit of filler in to hide them when I come to detailing the platform area. I think we'll call it a day there. Next time we'll look at building up the hillside. So if you can remember to like, subscribe and share please, and I'll chat to you next time.